Look at this chart. Gold is going straight up, and not in a healthy, normal markets doing markets things kind of way, but in a someone chugged a Four Loko and listened to a David Goggins podcast at 3 a.m. kind of way. Because here's the thing. Over the last 40 years, gold has averaged about a 6 to 12% annual return. Cute, respectable, a slow and steady asset class. But over the last 5 years, well, gold has been averaging nearly 20% per year. So clearly, there's something happening that should not be happening in a normal functioning world, which means one of two things. Either A, we're not living in a normal functioning world, or B, I am dramatically underestimating the emotional connection humans have with shiny rocks. Either way, gold is probably hitting another all-time high as I record this video. But don't worry, it gets even weirder. And that's because nobody can actually agree on why this is happening. Not a trader, not an economist, not an analyst, and not even that one guy on Reddit who spends 8 hours a day ranting about how the future is precious metals and canned beans. Because it seems like everyone has a theory, but nobody has an answer. But before I keep going, this is a perfect moment to say this video is sponsored by Notion. And I don't mean that in a they paid me to awkwardly interrupt my video kind of way. I mean this video was actually built inside Notion, because normally when I'm doing research for my videos, I have macro reports, spreadsheets, and enough tabs open to make my laptop sound like it's preparing for liftoff. But that's where Notion Agent comes in. Because now, instead of doing all the heavy lifting myself, I have the Notion Agent to help me. Here you can see I've asked the Notion Agent to provide a 2026 outlook on the gold industry and a table showing the total gold held by various central banks. And with one click, the Notion Agent gets to work and handles everything for you. And the best part? If I want to add more data, like the gold holdings as a percentage of total reserves, the Notion Agent allows you to dynamically update as you go. So instead of juggling research together from 5 different places, everything now is able to live in one clean, easy-to-use Notion workspace. This has helped me streamline my workflow from start to finish, and the tasks that used to take all day can now be completed with a couple clicks. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. And now back to the shiny rock that's making everyone uncomfortable. Because there is one thing that's clear with gold right now, and it's that something big is happening underneath the surface. Because what's supposed to be a boring asset class is now putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. And today, we're going to figure out what that something actually is. So let's start with debunking the explanation everyone thinks is the obvious: inflation. And okay, sure, inflation sucks, because rent went up, groceries went up, even fast food prices went up so much you'd think Ronald McDonald was hired by a private equity firm. But here's the thing, gold isn't rising because of inflation, at least not in the way most people think. Because if it was just strictly reacting to inflation pressures, gold would have exploded back in 2021 when the CPI was doing its best impression of a meme coin after an Elon tweet. And it didn't. In fact, it barely moved, because only